Welcome to The Explainer, folks. Imagine the floodlight beaming down, the deafening roar of the crowd, that heavy weight of history just hanging in the stadium air. Today, we're unpacking a clash that completely transcends the grass and the goalposts. We're looking at a classic matchup, a literal David versus Goliath scenario that had the entire globe holding its collective breath. We're going to break down one of the most unforgettable nights in recent memory. An absolute masterclass in heart, grit, and the undeniable power of the underdog.
Okay, let's dive into this. You probably saw the headlines, right? Argentina are through to the FIFA World Cup round of 16. But this wasn't the victory anyone expected. Now, the reigning world champs were supposed to absolutely cruise through this match. The pundits, they called it a mere formality. Just punch the ticket and move on. But as we all know, the beautiful game is not won on paper. And this victory turned into a desperate fight for survival that absolutely nobody saw coming.
To really grasp the magnitude of this story, we've got to talk about the sheer scale of this mismatch. In one corner, you've got Argentina, football royalty, the reigning world champions, a nation that literally breathes the sport. And in the other corner, Cape Verde, a tiny island nation, population barely 500,000 people. To put that into perspective for you, Cape Verde's entire population is smaller than a lot of mid-sized cities around the world. The contrast in pedigree and resources, it's just staggering. For Cape Verde, look, simply qualifying for the World Cup, that was a historic achievement. That alone was cause for a massive national celebration. But they didn't travel all that way just to be a footnote in Argentina's highlight reel. No way. They stepped out onto the world's biggest stage, looked the reigning champions right in the eye, and took them to the absolute brink. Pushing this match to a grueling 3-2 finish in extra time didn't just earn them respect. It transformed this tiny squad into outright tournament legends. Section 1. The Fearless Stand. Refusing to be intimidated. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that if you look at the post-match analysis, it's so easy to get lost in possession stats and passing accuracy. But what truly defined this match was sheer, unadulterated fearlessness. And it's perfectly embodied by one number, 41. In pro sports, that's an age where your knees usually prefer a golf cart to a penalty box. But here, 41 was the age of Cape Verde's goalkeeper. He was the beating heart of their defense, and, quite frankly, the absolute hero of this epic clash. This wasn't just about youthful athleticism, guys. This was an absolute clinic built on veteran experience and unshakable composure. I mean, when the Argentine attackers were swarming the box, it was his vocal leadership anchoring that backline. His incredible resilience completely frustrated one of the most potent attacking forces in football history. Throwing himself across the goal mouth, delivering save after spectacular save, he put on a masterclass. It was undoubtedly one of the performances of the tournament. Section 2. The beautiful game, respect at the final whistle. Just watch how this aftermath unfolds. Minute 120, the final whistle finally blows, and Argentina secures that narrow 3-2 victory. But minute 121, that paints the real picture. The exhausted Argentine players, they don't launch into wild celebrations. They literally collapse to the turf in pure, unadulterated relief, having barely survived the onslaught. Then, minute 122, a truly breathtaking moment. Lionel Messi himself turns, claps, and applauds the Cape Verde opposition. And by minute 123, the cameras pan up to the stands. The Cape Verde supporters are on their feet applauding, young fans shown in tears. But these aren't tears of heartbreak. They are tears of immense, overflowing pride for what their tiny nation just proved to the globe. And this brilliantly illustrates the true magic of the sport. Football is unique because sometimes the team that loses earns just as much admiration as the team that actually wins. The legacy of this specific match isn't just recorded in the tournament brackets. No, it's recorded in the hearts of everyone who watched a giant get pushed to its absolute limits by an island that utterly refused to yield. Section 3. Lessons for every giant. The underdog blueprint in business. Shifting gears a bit, you see that great organizations are really no different than underdog squads stepping onto the pitch. You don't need the biggest budget or the largest headcount if you master the fundamentals. First, you've got to maximize every single opportunity presented to you. Second, you must build unwavering trust within your team, just like that veteran goalkeeper anchoring his defense. Third, execute your game plan with absolute, rigid discipline. And finally, continue believing when literally everyone else expects you to fail. This right here is the championship blueprint for thriving against the odds. It all comes down to this one thought. Argentina advanced. Cape Verde inspired. The scoreboard remembers who won, but football remembers who made the world believe. Winning is a metric, but inspiring others, that is a legacy.
We've seen that whether you're fighting on a football pitch or navigating the intense, fast-paced complexities of business, courage and preparation are what truly level the playing field. It's not about the size of the opponent, it's about the size of your fight. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Will you be challenged by the size of the giant or by your own refusal to stop believing?